All right, imagine this scene. A totally wrecked world, ruins everywhere, storms overhead, and then dropping through those clouds, a Tyranid hive fleet.
Yeah, just this biological nightmare descending, looking for anything left to consume. Claws, teeth, the whole deal.
But wait, the planet isn't quite empty. Deep underground, things stir. Necrons.
That's right, these ancient robot legions waking up from who knows how long, and they are not happy about visitors, especially hungry ones.
Exactly. So they rise up to defend their turf. Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Today we're digging into a really intense account of this clash, Tyranids versus Necrons.
And our goal here is to really break down the key moments, the tactics, what went right, what went wrong in this specific fight.
We need to understand the forces involved, just briefly. So Necrons, they're defensive, right?
Yeah.
Necron warriors with those long guns, a royal warden keeping order.
And they've got scarabs for close-up stuff, backed by a spider that's the big construct that repairs them, plus some heavy hitters, the Scorpic destroyers with energy blades. Very nasty.
And on the Tyranid side, the swarm, obviously. Gaunts, gene stealers, you know, the fast, numerous ones.
What's those barbed gaunts, the sort of living artillery pieces, and a big player, a winged prime, a leader cast bioform.
Okay, and the setup. Necrons in the ruins, dug in deep. Tyranids showing up, but a bit hesitant at first. The account suggests they sensed an ambush.
It's interesting, isn't it? They're usually just pure aggression. But here, maybe a hint of caution before the storm breaks. It points to that clash of styles right away. Necron calculated defense versus Tyranid. Well, overwhelming hunger.
So let's get into that first engagement. The source says the Tyranids kick things off with a barrage from the barbed gaunts.
Yep, softening up the defenses, living artillery, raining down bioexplosives. Pretty standard opening for them, really.
But that's just the start, right? Then comes the charge. Classic Tyranids, just a wave of bodies, chitin claws, trying to swamp the Necron lines.
Absolutely. Pure mass assault. They're trying to just overwhelm those firing positions the Necrons have set up.
But like you said, the Necrons were ready. They're using those ruined buildings, the fallen archways, turning them into kill zones.
Perfect defensive ground for them. You can almost picture those green gas beams just lancing out, cutting down the front ranks of the swarm. Disciplined fire.
So the Necrons are holding their own, initially, using that range and cover.
Exactly. Their strength is that static defense, that interlocking fire. They force the Tyranids into this costly frontal assault, kind of negating the swarm's usual flexibility. For a moment, anyway.
Right, because things are about to get complicated. This is where the account really shifts gears dramatically.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Just as the main Tyranid wave hits the Necron defenses, bam! A winged prime. This massive Tyranid leader just drops out of the sky behind the Necron lines.
Talk about a flank attack. That completely disrupts everything the Necrons had planned.
Totally. Those warriors perfectly positioned for the front. Now they've got this huge threat right in their backyard. Their guns aren't facing the right way. They're caught completely off guard.
And it creates this perfect opportunity for the rest of the swarm, doesn't it? While the Necrons are scrambling to deal with the prime, the Gaunts and Gene Stealers can push harder into the weakened front.
The description of the Prime's first attack is, well, it's brutal. It lands near a squad of Necron warriors on Overwatch duty.
The ones meant to intercept threats.
And just tears through them. 5 warriors taken out in moments, only 1 left standing. Shows the sheer power of that thing.
It really does. A single unit acting like a wrecking ball, shattering that defensive line. It makes you wonder, though, is relying on such powerful single units maybe a Tyranid weakness? If they could be focused down.
Well, the Necrons certainly try. They don't just fold. The account mentions the Scorpic destroyers moving in.
The close combat specialists. Their turn to step up. Wielding those hyperphase blades, designed to carve through pretty much anything.
And it sounds like a desperate fight. 3 of these destroyers going straight for the winged prime. A high-stakes gamble.
A necessary one, though. They have to take that prime down. And the account says they actually manage it. They land the killing blow.
You can almost hear that, can't you? The shriek of metal, the energy discharge as those Necron blades finally find their mark.
A testament to their programming, their purpose. Eliminate the threat, whatever the cost.
Yeah.
But the prime gets one last shot in.
Yeah, that's the kicker. Even as it's dying, it lashes out and takes down 2 of the 3 Scorpic destroyers.
Wow. So that one Tyranid, even though they killed it, cost the Necrons dearly. 2 of their best close combat units gone, just like that.
A tactical win, taking out the Prime, but at a serious strategic cost, losing those destroyers.
Precisely. It really depletes their ability to handle further close quarters threats effectively.
And the battle's definitely not over yet. With the Prime down, things just seem to dissolve into chaos across the ruins.
Yeah, the account describes multiple fights breaking out. You've got Gaunts and Gene Stealers tangling with the remaining Necron warriors. It's just a messy brawl now.
The Necron leader, the Royal Warden, even has a moment of success, taking out some Barb Gaunts, but then gets swamped by numbers.
It shows the relentless nature of the Tyranids, doesn't it? Even with their leader gone, the swarm just keeps coming. Instinct takes over.
And those remaining Necron warriors, they manage to use their Gauss flares to zap the last of the Barb Gaunts, which is good.
Taking out the artillery is always a plus.
But it's too late. The Gaunts are on them immediately after. Range doesn't matter when you're buried in claws and teeth.
Exactly. They get overrun. And even that last Scorpic destroyer, the survivor from the Prime fight, it takes down more Tyranids, but eventually falls too.
So the Necron force is just getting whittled down piece by piece.
It leads to this really desperate final moment described in the source.
Yeah, it sounds grim. All that's left on the Necron side is one Canoptech spider, that big repair construct, and its little swarm of scarabs.
And they're surrounded, completely encircled by Tyranids, Gene Stealers, no cover, open ground. The odds look absolutely impossible.
The scarabs themselves, the little ones, they struggle, right? Against the bigger, faster Tyranids.
Yeah, they're more for swarming weaker targets or repair duty. They're having a hard time against the speed and armor of the main Tyranid creatures.
Mm.
But the spider? That's a different story.
It turns out to be surprisingly tough.
Incredibly tough. The account stresses its resilience. Claws, teeth, they're just not getting through its metal shell effectively. And it fights back hard. Particle beam, manipulator claws, mandibles. It's got some serious firepower and close combat ability.
And the really crucial part, it can fix the scarabs.
Exactly. It keeps reanimating them. So even as the Tyranids are smashing scarabs, the spider's putting them back together, sending them back into the fight, this buzzing, relentless little counter-swarm.
So the support unit, the spider, basically becomes the hero of the hour.
Pretty much. It manages to hold the line, push back the Tyranids, and actually wins the fight. It turns the whole situation around almost single-handedly. A real surprise MVP.
Wow. So the Necrons actually pull it off in the end.
They do. But the account is very clear. It was incredibly close. A bloody, narrow victory.
And the final image is the spider damaged itself, dragging itself back to its lair.
Yeah, to repair and start rebuilding those scarabs, preparing for the next wave, because, with Tyranids, there's always a next wave eventually. It really drives home the cost of that victory.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the big takeaways from this skirmish. What did we learn?
Well, we saw classic Tyranid aggression, didn't we? That overwhelming charge, spearheaded by a terrifyingly powerful unit like the Winged Prime.
Definitely. But we also saw the Necron's strengths. Sticking to their defensive plan, the power of those destroyers in close combat, and then the completely unexpected resilience and impact of that spider.
It highlights the contrast perfectly. Tyranid adaptation and overwhelming force versus Necron, ancient tech, and sheer endurance.
And the impact of single units on both sides was huge. The Prime turning the tide, the destroyers stopping it, the spider winning the end game.
It really makes you think about the bigger picture, doesn't it? If you scale this up, what does it mean for larger Necron versus Tyranid wars?
Right. Does the Prime's death show a limit to Tyranid hero units against focused defense?
Or does the spider's success suggest Necrons have these hidden strengths in support units that Tyranids might not prioritize targeting? It's that adaptability versus resilience question on a massive scale.
And it also brings home how much things like terrain, those ruins, were key early on, and just unexpected events can swing a battle, even on some forgotten rock in space.
Absolutely. Every choice matters. Every unit has a role, sometimes an unexpected one.
Well, thanks for digging into this account with us. It was a fascinating clash. Until next time, keep thinking about those strategic layers.
Yeah, and maybe ponder this.
Yeah.
What happens in the long run when a force that constantly evolves clashes with a force that basically endures? Something to chew on.